Namibia's President Hage Geingob dies aged 82. Namibia's President Hage Geingob has died at the age of 82 while he was receiving medical treatment at a hospital in the capital, Windhoek. A veteran of the country's independence struggle, Mr Geingob had been diagnosed with cancer and revealed the details to the public last month. He died early on Sunday with his wife and children by his side. The Vice President Nangolo Mbumba announced. Mr. Mbumba has since been sworn in as his replacement. He will serve in the role until elections due later this year. I take on this heavy mantle, cognizant of the weight of the responsibility, Mr. Mbumba said at a swiftly arranged swearing-in ceremony at the State House in Windhoek, just 15 hours after the death of Mr. Geingob. Paying tribute to his predecessor, he said that our nation remains calm and stable, owing to the leadership of President Geingob, who was the chief architect of the Constitution. Mr. Geingob was first sworn in as president in 2015 and had served in top political positions since independence in 1990. The exact cause of his death was not given, but last month he underwent a 2-day novel treatment for cancerous cells in the US before flying back home on 31st January, his office had said. On Namibia radio, people have been sharing memories of someone they described as a visionary as well as a jovial man who was able to share a joke. Leaders from around the world have been sending condolence messages, with many talking about Mr. Geingob's efforts to ensure his country's freedom. Among them has been Cyril Ramaphosa, president of neighboring South Africa, who described him as a towering veteran of Namibia's liberation from colonialism and apartheid. Mr. Geingob, a tall man with a deep, gravelly voice and a commanding presence, was a long-serving member of the SWAPO party. It led the government movement against apartheid South Africa, which had effectively annexed the country, then known as West Africa, and introduced its system of legalized racism that excluded black people from political and economic power. Mr. Geingob lived in exile for 27 years. He spent time in Botswana, the US and the UK, where he studied for a PhD in politics. He came back to Namibia in 1989, which was a year before the country gained independence. Looking back, the journey of building a new Namibia has been worthwhile, he wrote on social media in 2020, while he was sharing a picture of him kissing the ground on his return. Even though we have made a lot of progress in developing our country, more work lies ahead to build an inclusive society. When Mr. Geingob first became president in 2015, he had already been the country's longest-serving prime minister in the post for 12 years from 1990 and then again for a shorter stint in 2012. Going by results at the ballot box, his popularity had declined. In the 2014 election, he won a huge majority. He took 87% of the vote, but 5 years later that had fallen to 56%. Mr. Geingob's first term coincided with a stagnant economy and high levels of unemployment and poverty. It was according to the World Bank. His party also faced a number of corruption scandals during his time in office. This included what became known as fish rot, where ministers and top officials were accused of taking bribes in exchange for the awarding of lucrative fishing quotas. By 2021, 3/4 of the population thought that the country was going in the wrong direction, a threefold increase since 2014. It was according to independent polling organization Afrobarometer. 3 decades after independence, the heroic narrative of SWAPO, having liberated the country, was losing its appeal among a generation born after the event. Long-time observer of Namibian politics, Henning Melberg, wrote in 2021. SWAPO, in power since independence, had chosen Netambo Nandi Nodaiwa as its presidential candidate for November's planned elections. She has now been appointed vice president and will become the country's first female president if she wins. This news is from BBC. Please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.